I'm hungry. How about you, Tarrant?
Yes, very hungry.
Let's eat some humans. At the Hunger, Richard Garfield's new game. Coming up.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University. Today we are very hungry.
Yes, we are talking about The Hunger.
The Hunger. So this is Richard Garfield's new game. I don't know if it's the newest one or not, but it is his new game, and he is mostly known for Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
The original design, I don't know, probably have been many designers, but Richard Garfield is the one that started Magic the Gathering.
This game does not resemble that at all.
Not at all, so it is a different one. Well, he has designed other games as well since then, like
King of Tokyo.
and then the Country Full of Monsters. I was going to say that one as well.
Yeah.
And this is one of the newest one by Renegade Games and
Yes.
Ori Games. So what is it about and what we think of it? Let's get there, Tarrant.
Yes. So there's plenty going on as you look at the board and try to work out what's happening here. Fundamentally, this is
Deck building.
It's a board game with movement and a deck building engine. So we are all vampires, and it is night time, and we want to go out and eat and score points. And we're all at the castle here in the middle. These are our tokens. To go out, we need to go spiral around the board. So we walk through the cemetery, and then we've got the mountains here on this path. And then we come out into the plains. Oops. We come out into the plains, and there's a few different pathways we can take around the plains, and then we can go deep into the forest. And there's lots of points on offer out there, but you've got to get back before sunrise, because of course what happens to vampires when the sun comes up if they're not at home.
Oh, sorry, not but burns. Yes.
Or at least in the safety of being near the castle. So that's kind of what the game is about. You've got 15 rounds. You want to go out, get as many points as possible, and get back before the end. So a typical turn, you will have 3 cards from your deck. You'll play those. They may have some effects down on the bottom, and they will have some movement points up in the top corner. So here I've got 7 movement points. This would give me an extra 3 or an extra 2 movement points in some circumstances. But whatever the case is here, I've got 7 movement points. So I would head out, and at some point I'm going to stop, and the movement points I've got left in hand will let me purchase cards from this supply here. 3, 2, or 1. And these will slide over each turn, getting cheaper the longer they've been there. The sorts of cards that you can get here, you can get more green cards. These kind of help your movement and your abilities. You can get the familiar cards. These with the purple ones here, they do not go into your deck. They just go into a tableau and give you an ongoing bonus. But your points are going to come from the human cards. And so let's say I moved 5 there. I've got 2 movement points left. I could eat this human. I would get the points that were shown on here. So this is worth 1 point. I would advance that immediately. And then it would go into my discard pile. But it may have some extra effects here. This one has a point down in this corner as well. This one here, for example, worth a lot more points, worth 4 points, but is spicy to eat and means you have to go running to a well to drink water.
If I am a human getting eaten by Empire, I'm probably spicy too.
You would have a lot of that still inside.
I know, I eat chili all the time. Alright, sorry, continue.
Yeah. And so that's the sort of thing. So you get those, they'll add to your discard pile. You can see that all these humans, or the vast majority of humans, have no movement points. So the more your deck gets filled up with eaten humans, the slower you're going to move. So it's not a simple matter of 7 turns out, 8 turns back. You're going to get slower as the game goes on. Unless you take actions to digest them out of your hand, you'll still score their points, but they'll go out of your deck, the typical trash sort of mechanic.
And also there are combos that you can do with these humans or particular humans of
Yes.
different kinds
Yes.
of
So-
human cards, not like different. Anyways.
Indeed. Yes. So the sorts of points you're going to be getting, you'll gain points every time you eat a human, and the further you are from home, the more you'll gain. So you get a bonus point in the plains, a bonus 2 points in the forest. That will advance you a lot of your points. There are objectives in all of the graveyards. So there's these two objectives on the top of the board, which are in play for everybody. Here, for example, it's gain a point for each human that is worth more than 4 points. So players should all be hunting for those. 5 points if you've hunted more humans than anyone else. Whoever's hunted the most gets the most points. But each time you land on a graveyard, you can also pick up all of the ones in the graveyard, look through them, and add one to your collection. And you can actually put back ones from your collection as well. So each player will have a whole lot of private objectives there as well. A few other things going on. When you land on someone else, you can bump them into an adjacent space.
Back or front.
Yep. You can get a whole lot of humans at the tavern, but you have to take them all. So if they're low scoring and low movement, you might just ruin your whole deck by doing that.
This gets added after each end of round.
Yep.
Oh, turn.
Indeed. There's treasure chests you can pick up. Those are worth points and bonuses. If you get to the very middle, there are roses that give you some good ongoing bonuses. And then it's all about the race back to the middle. So
that's the push your luck. Or like, oh, will I get it back? That's just so juicy. Like whether you want to risk it or you want to play carefully.
Yes. So there's points on offer for the first to get back, and those points decline. If you have not gotten back by the end of the 15th round, or you get one extra turn if you find a parasol, then there's two ways to play it. You can play the high stakes way, where if you get back to the cemetery, these 3 spaces, you lose 5 points. Otherwise, you're dead. You lose the game. Or you can... There are negative points printed on the mountain spaces as well. And so you could instead play it that you've got to get back to the mountains, but you'll lose as many as 25 points if you've only just made it back.
Okay, so you're not necessarily out of the game when you reach the inner sort of snowy area.
Yep. And so that's the game. It's all about, as I say, these will move on each turn, the ones that aren't purchased. You can even get multiple cards, like everything in this box, for a single movement point. And it's all about getting as many humans as you can in the highest scoring spaces as you can and working to your objectives. So what do you think?
Me? Oh. So there are 2 things here. There's the thematic, the vampire, and there's the mechanics. So the previous Richard Garfield's game, well, I used to play Magic the Gathering. I mean, you haven't.
No.
I played it. I love it. I played Richard Garfield's previous game. King of Tokyo is good, like a good filler. Carnival Monster was okay for me. So I wasn't too sure at the start, what is it? Now, there are games thematically that I am automatically drawn to, like food theme, Gudetama, anything that I like IP games that I like the theme, the IP. Yeah. Now, this is a vampire game. I know for some people, it was like, oh, vampire games. For some others, it's okay. For me, it's okay. Like, I do enjoy the theme of vampire, looking for human, the movies about vampire, Fury of Dracula's, other games about vampire. But I wasn't drawn from that. I was drawn because it's a deck building. And I was like, okay, Richard Garfield, we'll see how it goes. And this is awesome. I love it. Because number one, it's the mechanic of deck building. I like deck building. And secondly, that push your luck. I was like, when do you want to stop going out and start heading back to your castle? And the third one is the the art and the thematic is actually really good. Thematically, it's really, really nice where you get human, but then you get slower after that. It's like, oh, it's just, I'm hungry or whatever. But you can get combo. Yeah, you fall and you get... And the animals that you have also gain 1 per human who is worth 1 or 2. You can get familiar or pets or whatever. And there are 3 cards that you play in your turn. That is very limiting, but I was able to get a combo or ability that let me draw more cards, and that's usually really good. And I was able to combo a few humans and a few abilities, and there are cards that let you, if you have this type of human cards, you get to move more, for example.
Yes, this one here, for example, the Vampire Thirst, one of your starting cards. It's 1 movement or 3 if you've drawn at least 1 human. So that helps to counteract if you end up
with humans, a
whole lot of humans and not much movement.
Yeah.
There are cards that will let you draw extra cards as well, so that you can avoid those sorts of issues.
Yeah, I always like deck building as well that combines with other things, not just purely deck building. Like, I've played Dominion so many times, and this combines with movement on the map, and you can split to a different area. You can bump people. I think there's enough interesting things that you can do, and you probably try to draw these objective cards early in the game so you know what you are aiming for. And whether you want to get there early or get there late, and slowly consuming and then getting all the bonus points. Like, this is like the outside track and, the inside track, but it's slow moving rather than this one. But then there's like a lot of things that you can get when you use like stop.
Yep, yeah, the ship space will get you around here much more quickly, but you can't hunt on the on the ships themselves.
That's right. So you can hunt on, anywhere but ships in graveyards. So of course outside you can't really hunt and get more cards. And you also see what your opponents have in their deck and then try to maybe gain their cards. If you don't want them to have it, I didn't get to the end last time. None of us did. And at the end, I kind of like ended up, like, I still have 1 more turn. I'm already there because I was too scared to push it further.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't hunt when you're in these last 3. So if you do push it too far, it still forces you to...
I can go back. I can go back there. If I can go out again. But then I was like, I don't want to go and with losing that much point. But yeah, all this combination with this deck building that gets your points. But it's always like this, right? Deck building gets your point, but it's not really contributing anything to your engine build.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like this one. I would totally play it again. Just amazing with amazing combination of mechanics and theme.
Yeah.
You?
For me, I mean, it's a pretty light game. It's kind of a...
It is light, yeah.
It's a random... It's not a completely random thing, but it's kind of, gamer light, gamer random.
Yes.
I'm going to get my cards and go out and pick up as much as I can. It's probably going to take a couple of plays before you really get into it, because that spectre of instant defeat if you don't get back.
Yeah.
It always hangs over that first game.
And I usually, with games with punishing mechanic like that, I'm always be scared to push further.
Yeah. I think what you'll find from a deck building standpoint, the combos don't come in strong card combos the way that you'll often find in some deck builders.
That's true.
It's much more of a accumulate the things that work with your objectives. It's a little bit individual in that way, but it's kind of a nice, fun puzzle to do, and it's I think it's a fun game.
I think I like it more than you.
Yeah, I think it's a it's not a very gamer thinky type of game.
Yep.
It's pretty light and fluffy.
It is pretty
but
light.
It does it in a good way. It is fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fun game.
It is a pretty quick game as well, isn't it? You see that 15 rounds, but really quick because you play just one thing. One round, I mean, your turn is basically to move one thing. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, to move, and then
resolve whatever it is.
buy one of these.
Yeah.
The only one that will take a lot of time is if you're picking up objectives and trying to figure out what's the best.
You get to see all of these and then choose one, which I think I would prefer much better than pick up randomly. Because you're like, oh yeah, just like this strategy. I think that's the one that makes quite a big difference.
I think the other thing to say about this game is it does play up to 6 players.
Oh yes.
So it's good in that way. It's slightly, let's say, a non-party game that plays up to 6. You don't get that many of those games. This board gets extended depending on how many more players there are. So there's always a lot more to choose from, or there's always enough to choose from. And you're always looking out for games that'll play 6. So if you're looking for something fun with some gamer mechanics that's not too heavy, as long as people understand deck building, they'll pick it up really quickly.
I can see that we can play this with our usual friends that play this, four of us. So it will be like a quick fun, everyone has a good laugh with the thematic part as well.
Yep. Yes, you get to discuss who looks tastiest as well.
Yes, that's true. That's very important. Thanks for mentioning that, Tarrant. So have you heard of the Hunger? Have you played other Richard Garfield's game? Let us know in the comment sections below. I think, hang on, I've got one more that I think is Bunny Kingdom is Richard Garfield?
It is, yeah.
Yes, that's it. So I quite enjoyed Bunny Kingdom as well. We've got how to play video for that one as well.
We do.
You did?
We do.
We do. So that is it. Let us know what's your favorite Richard Garfield's game. Have you played anything else other than Magic the Gathering? Do you think it's your type of game, or do you like vampire types of game? Let us know as well. And if you find this video useful, please help us by hitting the like button. That will be really appreciated. And subscribe to us if you haven't already done so. If you like, there should be a Meeple in the corner, and you can hit it and hit the bell icon as well. I'm also on Instagram. Find me there, and hopefully we will see you next time. And hopefully I'll find you on Instagram as well.
Indeed. Bye.
Bye.